Hey, B, it's JamiThatsMe here. Listen, we got a lot to get into, honey, and we finna go ahead and start this thing off with Belle Collective. So let us get right on into it. So listen, um, real quick, y'all know Sophia had went over there to Carlos King, and she kind of talked about how she felt like she was not protected while being on that show. Okay, she did have a court order that was in place when it came to Miss Selena. And she just felt like Carlos did not protect her. They did not let her know that this woman would be filming and things, and she didn't know that she was even filming at the baby shower. She wasn't aware. So I guess if she would have showed up to the baby shower, then what the hell, right? Um, they would have probably put her in a position to violate the court order that was in place. I had a few things to say. Number one, I feel like if anybody needs to protect themselves first, you should always look out for yourself, regardless. Okay, I think that your safety should come over wanting to be a part of a television show. That's one. Two, I do think that they could have been a bit more considerate, just a little piece, to at least just let her know, like, hey, we filming, we're the scene that you're about to show up to, Selena will be at. Potentially, right? But when I reflect back to the baby shower, they didn't even invite you. They only invited their dad. So how would you have bumped into Selena at the baby shower if you were never invited? Okay. So, also another thing that I wanted to say was you also said out your own mouth that you went back and changed things and wanted to and said that you are okay with being in the same space as Selena. So, yeah, I don't think that I agree with how Carlos handled her on his platform by over talking her, pretty much cutting her off in interjecting himself when she was trying to express herself. I think there was definitely a better way to handle that situation as a professional. I think that he could have just said, I understand. I hear exactly how you feel. I would love for us to engage in that conversation a bit more once we're done with this live. I don't want you to feel as though you're not being heard in this moment, but I also feel like there is a time and place for those type of conversations, and I definitely am willing to give you all of that time for us to discuss those things behind the scenes, because as we're working on things now, I brought you guys here for something different, but we'll definitely have that conversation once we're done with this show. Like, it just could have been a way better way to handle that. um in my opinion. And I don't think the list of things that I've said would have been different had I had he or I, what I'm saying, put myself in his shoes, had I had a conversation with her behind the scenes. I would say the same shit I'm saying right now. Okay. Number one, I always understand that the duty is to you. If you guys are working a job and you have certain expectations of your job, and I'm thinking about a corporate sector and you feel like that job is not protecting you, get the fuck up off the table. I know I'm not gonna stay around in no job that I don't feel I'm being valued at, or I feel that is protecting me or whatever. Granted, you can bring it to the job and expect them to do something about it. If they don't, then get the hell on, or file accordingly should you need to, right? Um, and unfortunately, it would be nice if those jobs looked out and made sure that you were, safe and stuff like that. But all of them not gonna do that. Okay, they could definitely be held liable for some things, I would think. But at the same time, if you have created a conflict with one of your employers on your own, and that's what happened with y'all, we ask that y'all have a sit down, y'all work things out. Okay? And if y'all can't do that and you decided to get a court order or whatever with that person, then guess what? We'll keep you on one side of the office and we'll have them on the other, or we'll put y'all in two different floors, or whatever the case is. We'll have to figure it out, or we're gonna have to let one of y'all go. And in all honesty, for her to say that she didn't feel protected, in my opinion, I feel like they protected you the first season when you filed the court order to begin with. When you filed that, they protected you by not having this woman on the show and also not including her on the reunion. And then you turn around and after you have made changes to your court order, you want to sit up there and say, oh, well, Carlos, I feel like you didn't protect me. Y'all didn't tell me that she was filming this or that. They weren't immediately putting her in the same path as you. She would have been filming at a damn baby shower that had nothing to do with you. So I hear what Gucci was saying, but I also cannot rule out the fact that everything ain't on Carlos for me. Okay, you're gonna have to also hold yourself accountable as an adult. And that's just that on that. Okay. um Any what else outside of the show? Marie and this lawsuit that she got going on with with Latrice or something like that. I think it was a lawsuit, and then the lawsuit ended up getting dropped, and some allegations was put out there, and Latrice decided to, I guess, sue Marie for defamation because of some things she may have said about her or her husband or something. The lawsuit ended up getting dismissed, and I think Latrice, according to Scotty, shout out to Scotty, I believe there was another lawsuit where Latrice ended up dropping it, I guess, for to save face for the friendship that they could potentially have or something. I don't know, but the ladies had some legal stuff going on that we didn't know anything about, and I don't know why they didn't bring it to the show. Marie has felt like she's been getting bad edits, and she's not been able to speak on certain things for the sake of making somebody else look good on the show. That's what she says. I don't know what's true, but it looks to be all over, and we'll see what's going to happen. Now let's get into the show. All right. The actual couples are the ones that's going to be taking the bus, while Marie, Tambra, and Selena are going to be coming up the next day. So on their way to New Orleans, they decided to stop by some plantation. And I thought that was a bit odd, but I guess it ended up being pretty decent for them because they took a little, walk down history lane. And then also it allowed them to put certain things into perspective for them to realize, like, well, hey, the things that we're beefing over really ain't that deep. Okay. When you look at how far we've come, it don't got to be that deep. We need to move forward. So Sophia is definitely reflecting on the drama, and she thinks that they are at a place where they need to fix what's been broken. Glenn says that being in this situation and looking at being around this whole plantation makes him want to be a better person. Go away from us with this Apollo, because we know that you lying. A better person. Meanwhile, you still ain't trying to tell your wife what the hell is really up when it comes to your entrepreneurship. But okay. So they get on the bus, and Letitia brings up Glenn quitting his job without her knowledge, right? And him sending Cliff over to the office. I'm confused on why you would even send Cliff over there, considering the fact that Cliff was an issue when it came to y'all marriage last year. So why would you send him over there to be all in your marriage this year to talk to your wife? Like, what would make you think that she would listen to him? Just because you listen to that nigga don't mean that Letitia finna listen to him. Okay, continuing to do this thing all wrong, and it don't help or make it no better that Letitia decided to gift a Cliff a damn award at the brunch. It don't make it no better. All of the things that she was listing about Cliff, I'm over here thinking it was possibly gonna be Willie, but we know, girl, leave it up to Glenn. Willie wasn't finna get no accolades because high key Glenn gives jealous of Willie. So, anywho, Latrice is feeling away because she like, you ain't even let me know that you was going to see Letitia. You could have at least told me that. Then they talk about Cliff throwing a party for Glenn, and it's going to end up being on the same day as Latrice's grand opening for her new location, or her second location for Goddess Links. Like, why would you do something like that? Are you trying to compete with your wife, or were you just really not thinking when you did what you did? Latrice says she is tired of Cliff's lack of respect for her. She also says his communication with her is the problem, all right? Letitia asked him about the box truck, and I never heard him answer her when she asked him about that box truck. He never said anything. At least they edited that part out. So when it comes to the party, Akeisha and Willie over there asking like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Are we invited? Glenn over there acting stupid like, oh, y'all gonna be in town? Oh, I ain't even know y'all was gonna be here. Y'all gonna be here? Because he really don't want them there, for real. So Glenn says that Akeisha and Willie brag on everything that they do, and they have their noses up in the air. Number one, I don't really believe that they brag on everything that they do. You know what I'm saying? They could potentially have their noses in the air, but I feel like they just genuinely be who they are, and you and Letitia Haki just can't take it. I feel like y'all feel threatened by the colognes in my personal, and I find it so funny that you would sit up there and say that they brag about everything and they had their noses in the air, because in my opinion, that's how your wife showed up on the show the first season. Okay? Like, she was really that girl around Jackson and couldn't even open up no pathways for herself over there on Ferry Street. Okay, and got heavily intimidated once Miss Akeisha came to town. Okay, so yeah, girl, I feel like your wife give braggadocious, in my opinion. So they arrive to the house, and the house is kind of small for all of those people. In my personal, I just feel like it's so, it's just, girl, I wouldn't be able, I couldn't be there long. Girl, this has to be like a quick weekend trip, and we're gonna have to go. I'm gonna need some space. This is too tight. So, and then I can imagine how they can hear each other's conversations through the walls. Like, girl, no. So Sophia, she asked JJ how they gonna be moving if a special guest shows up, and JJ's like, hey, what you mean how we gonna move? We gonna move around because we ain't gonna be stressed about, no special guests. We only gonna be focused on what we got going on and how we feeling about stuff. Like, I'm not gonna be worried about that stressing over there because stress bring wrinkles. I ain't trying to have no wrinkles. I'm good this way, okay? So that's what he's saying. And little do they know, the special guest is going to be in the house. I think Sophia had the right mindset to get an idea of what's gonna happen. A special guest, Selena, is gonna be there, and Letitia says she's not gonna let them know anything because she's afraid that they're not gonna show up to the brunch, okay? Glenn tells Letitia that he didn't tell her anything because he felt like she would discourage him if he would have told her. And she's like, my main thing is just thinking about what's important for the family and, us having insurance, and knowing what our next steps are. So I feel like they really didn't have much of a conversation about things when it came to his entrepreneurship and him not telling her everything. They didn't really have much of a conversation. They just moved on. She hugged him and moved on. And I said, I bet this is how a lot of situations happen in their relationship. They don't really address things, right? They may subtly talk about it and then they move on and then they find themselves right back in a similar situation again. Y'all might need to go to counseling, but when y'all go to counseling, I'm not interested in watching it. Just go off camera. So Latrice still doesn't like that JJ went to Tisha's house without telling her, and he like, I did tell you. And then like once he started telling her I did tell you, he ended up getting a bit snappy for me, and I'm like, who the fuck you talking to? So when she was like, who the fuck you talking to, I said, I know that's motherfucker right, because who the hell you think you talking? Like, are you okay? All right, who you think you talking to? And then she tells him, you need to lower your voice. And he's like, but I told you we already had this conversation or whatever. So she says, it's extra rooms in here. He said, yeah, you go find you one. And she said, oh no, I'm staying right here. I'm staying right here. And then she said, you better sit your weak ass down. I said, oh my. Now sit your weak ass down. Jeez Louise. Okay, let me tell y'all, Latrice was trying to get that energy this season to let people know that he don't be running over her like a lot of us may think. Okay, that's what she was trying to give. So, hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Now, what I did want to say about this moment here with Latrice, I think it was this moment when Latrice sat up there and said something like, it's the lack of respect for me, or whatever. Is this, that, and the other, the lack of respect, disrespect, or whatever. It's like, Latrice, I just want you to always remember this moment and remember that, you wondering what people be saying about your relationship or what they be saying about your relationship or whatever it is, it's because of moments like this, that type of scene of how he talked to you and you saying out of your own mouth how he makes you feel. Okay, that is where people be also getting their thoughts when it comes to that husband of yours and y'all dynamic and stuff. Not to mention, just like Josh, she said last season, you like to tell him certain things about your husband because you be too afraid to say it out loud on your own. So that's where we be getting it from. Like when it comes to, how he respects you and doesn't respect you. You already said that he doesn't. So there's that. So when you hear the other lady start talking about it, then don't act surprised, okay? What else is going on? So what else? Sophia and JJ, they decided to do the brunch for everybody, or at least have breakfast before brunch. And I like that idea because I'm like, girl, we don't even know how this food finna taste once y'all get to the brunch. Y'all been waiting all day to eat, gonna get to the damn brunch, and it's probably not even gonna be good. So yeah, shout out to them having chefs. Timber and Selena arrived to the event, and when I tell y'all, Selena looked real good in her confessional in that yellow. I said, go ahead, ma'am, I'm here for it. When it came to Marie, I did like Marie's outfit. I thought Marie looked good when she showed up to the brunch, so I'll give her that. Anywho, so when they arrived to the events, they see Selena. Basically, JJ and Sophia see Selena. They already feeling uncomfortable. She greets them. Hey, everybody. They come on in. They sit down. The fact that, first of all, why the fuck does she need to be a greeter? That is so stupid. Like, you need her to be a greeter? Just come on in and have a sign. Have a seat. Let the music be the greeter or something like that. Like, what is that about? But anywho, girl. I feel like Letitia gave people jobs just to make sure that they showed up. She had to give people jobs to make sure that they showed up. What's another thing? Let's see. All right. So at some point we see where Sophia and JJ get up and leave. Sophia goes to check on JJ, make sure he's good. JJ is upset. He doesn't want to be there. He says, we ain't even got to say nothing. We could just get up and go. So he wasn't even going to tell Letitia that, hey, we finna leave. He just was going to leave. Okay. I guess he felt disrespected. And because he felt disrespected, he was going to disrespect her and not tell her anything. But Letitia ended up seeing them at the door and ended up talking to them and stuff. And they said, no, we had a good time. We had a good time. We're going to go on here to go. She said, I'm going to see y'all back at the house. And he was like, yeah. You'll see us back at the house they left. They go, they get in the van. Now, in the previews, they made it seem like JJ was saying some stuff when he got in the van, but they didn't show us what he said this time. They just showed his feet as he was closing the door. But okay. So, anywho, Tisha gonna come back to the table and sit down, and she gonna ask the group, how can we fix this? Ma'am, 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 ma'am. What do you mean? How can we fix this, girl? You the one that you the one that brought this to them. And in all honesty, if you would have at least had the conversation with them and told them right out the gate, like, hey, I just want to let you guys know, like, listen, Selena will be there. Not only will she be at the event, she'll be at a variety of events here while we're in New Orleans, okay? Or wherever they at in Louisiana. I want to let you guys know this ahead of time so y'all know how you all are going to move, or you can prepare yourself while on this trip to, be mentally prepared for what's to come. Okay? That's all she had to do. And then if you would have allowed them to make the decision on whether they're going to come to the brunch or not the brunch or however, then and maybe just maybe you wouldn't have been surprised by them getting up and leaving, because they probably would have just stayed back and not came anyway, potentially. Okay? So there's that. What else? She also says she invited Selena to go to other functions, and she's not going to be babysitting anybody because they grown. So whatever y'all got in y'all court paperwork is on y'all, and y'all going to have to figure it out the best way y'all know how. I don't fully blame her on this at all. I really don't. I don't fully blame her on that. Like, y'all do got to figure it out. Like, y'all grown. Y'all will be all right. And so, Gucci, you did decide to lift the what is it? You decided to lift the not the court order, but the parameters. Okay, you said that you were gonna be okay with being in this lady's face. So, with you being okay with being in her face, then be okay with being in her damn face. Okay, so there's that. What else ended up happening? Yeah, she ended up honoring old boy, and then they go downstairs, right? So when they go downstairs, once they get down there, girl, it ain't SHI down there. Ain't nothing really down there. I mean, the lady stuff is down there, but they ain't really got nothing. Ain't nothing really, you know what I'm saying? Like, you go down there and you see the little banners or the signs or whatever that they got up, but ain't nothing really on the tables. So when Marie get down there, Marie is just like, well, where the hell is my stuff at? I'm confused. Like, where is my shit at? And I'm like, yeah, where is her stuff? Because one, she's paying for this, right? And not so much as paying to be promoted, but more so paying for her promotional items. Where's her stuff at? And then Letitia gonna say, well, you trying to blame me for your stuff. And Maria's like, but this is your event, so you are responsible for it. I agree with Marie. You are in charge. This is your event. You should have made sure, if it wasn't Marie and it was somebody else, you would have made sure that your people had their stuff there. And then it wasn't even worth it because nobody even went downstairs. It wasn't nothing but the bells down there. It was so tacky. And then you saw Letitia got this whole what is it? A brunch wear line, like a kitchenware, whatever it is. She got this brunch wear line with some plates and stuff with affirmations and shit on it. And I guess, listen, I mean, I wouldn't buy them. For me, the style, I didn't like the style. However, I'm here for her being in her prima donna bag. Okay, I feel like she probably should have went and did an air fryer or something. You could have did so many other things versus getting some plates with some damn affirmations on them. I mean, that's cute, but okay. Anywho, so the guys hang out. And JJ says he didn't know Selena was going to be there. And Glenn says, well, in so many words, I ain't like that you left. When I saw you get up, I was like, oh, man, damn, why you left? And JJ says, you'll never understand because you only have kids with one woman and you still with that woman. So I don't really want to hear nothing you got to say. JJ don't want to hear nobody issues when they already got their own marital issues. Don't come talking to me about that. JJ tells him, listen, family will work it out without having to have outsiders being a part of it. But if that's how you feel, that family is going to work it out without outsiders being involved, and you should have told Gucci that, okay, when she went up there and went outside and went to the courts on a situation that she actively participated in. Okay, if you feel like family can resolve it on their own, then she shouldn't have went to the courts then. But okay, so then JJ says that, like me, He said that's like me trying to tell you how you was wrong to quit your damn job, knowing that you got a wife and a child to look after. Okay, knowing that your wife got this medical procedure that's gonna cost thousands of dollars, and now she about ain't even gonna have no damn insurance to get it taken care of, sir. Okay, but I'll be wrong to go in and tell you my thoughts on that. You know why? Okay, because you may have your own way of how you handling and how you moving when it comes to situations like that. So who the hell? Let me scoot back. Okay, now Willie speaks on him being him being with the guys and how he appreciates them. And how he feels like he's just really been being himself when he's around them. And then Cliff is like, so being yourself is basically saying you're an asshole. I don't know why Cliff feels the need to keep having to sock it to Willie. I don't know what that's about. He did it when they was over there at the barbershop. He's doing it again. Now, when Willie finally meets your ass where you at, Cliff, I want you to be able to handle it. Because I feel like you've been throwing a lot of things Willie's way, and Willie has just been cool on it. So when he give you that energy, I want you to be able to take it, okay? So Glenn says that he thought that Willie came in on some sideways stuff. And then Willie says, listen, Glenn, I like you. I think you're awesome. And Glenn says, well, I think you decent. Yikes. Okay, these men be throwing around jokes and stuff, but they really be dead ass serious, even though they say that, oh, we could say whatever we say and then we can move on and be cool about it. And I'm like, yeah, but y'all still be giving heavily on the passive aggressiveness, in my opinion. It be giving passive aggressive, and I don't know if y'all act like that because the other person's gonna hee hee ha ha and act like it's cool, or if you make it passive aggressive with a little smile and a joke because you're afraid that Willie gonna beat your ass. But okay, so the ladies back at the house and they in the pool, and they asked Latrice about having kids, and she's super worried about that. She has a fear about kids. She's really a busy person, working on a lot of stuff, so she don't think that she really gonna be that great of a mom. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the very fear of you not being a good mom just may be the reasons that you would be a good mom, right? Because you're a person that's gonna want to be so on top of things that I think you would probably be a great parent. But at the same time, you know yourself better than me and trust yourself. I don't think she's making a wrong decision. If she don't feel like she's comfortable to do that right now, don't. And when she said that she don't want to be a married single mama, girl, listen, I support that wholeheartedly. I agree. You know your man better than anybody. If he ain't been thinking about you and being considerate of you when it comes to the business and stuff, then I would not trust how he is going to handle y'all kids when y'all have them. I feel like if he gets pissed off with you at any moment, Cliff gonna be like, you get the kids, you take the kids, you go do it. He gonna throw it on you because the whole goal is to have you inconvenienced. Okay, so yeah, I think that if Latrice had a different partner that made her feel comfortable, I think she would have kids with that man, and especially if she felt safe in that relationship. And her, and just in general, feeling safe in that relationship, I think that she would. But with Cliff, hell no. As long as she with his ass, she ain't having no kids, and she doing right in my personal, okay? Selena shows up after a while. Selena does, hold on, let me go back. Let me see. Okay, yeah, Selena shows up, and then Sophia feels like that Letitia is trying to force this thing, and Letitia's like, nah, I'm not trying to force it. I just think that y'all need to start having a conversation and stuff since you're saying that you moved past it and stuff. Maybe it's time for y'all to talk and move forward. So then Gucci like, well, listen, I'll chat. Like, that's cool. Like, we could talk and stuff like that. But I just don't want y'all around. And I think that may have been a good decision. I don't think the ladies should just like go in the house. I just think y'all could just step over there and just be quiet. Go over there to that corner, hush up, don't say nothing, and let these ladies have the moment that they need to have by themselves, okay? So we'll see how it's gonna go. Sophia told us that her name is now Sophia and not So Gucci. So we'll see if she's going to be Sophia in this conversation with Selena, or if she's going to be giving So Gucci vibes, all right? But that's all I got on the episode of Belle Collective. It was cool. Y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below. That's all I got. I'm Jami, that's me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the gouda, we hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer, we come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest, but drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.